Alright guys, today we're on a Hilux. Last week we had done 100,000 kilometers on a white Hilux. This week we're doing a 100,000 kilometers service again on a grey black, but it's another unit. Right? I'll show what we're doing for the 100,000, all these parts. Right now we have the technician here draining the transmission fluid. Right? What we're going to do is for the 100,000 we're going to change all the transmission fluids. Let me call out briefly what we're going to do for this 100,000. We're going to lubricate all the doors, all the hinges, using this lubricating spray. It's a lithium grease. All the hinges, all the moving parts that will squeak and make noise. We're going to do all that. We're going to change all the fluids in terms of like brake fluid. We're going to flush all the brake fluid, put new brake fluid, because after like you do the 100, the brake fluid just get black and it absorbs moisture. That is the problem with brake fluid. When it absorbs moisture, the boiling point reduces. You don't get the brake performance that you're supposed to get with the brake fluid when it starts to change the color. So bear in mind that brake fluid is supposed to be changed, especially when it gets dark in color. Right? As it was draining the transmission fluid here, what we're going to do is we're also going to change the transfer case fluid. So what you see them doing there right now, that's the transfer case. Now the transfer case is attached onto the transmission, and that is what controls the four-wheel drive. Right? So this unit here is called the transfer case. Right? This unit here is called the transmission, and it's bolted onto the engine. This is called the transmission mount. When this mount bursts and you go to accelerate, you just get a vibration. So this is the drain nut here for the transfer case. We're going to drain out that oil, put in new oil. This is the universal joints. We also call them the cross. Sometimes they take greasing, sometimes they don't. Right? We also have the equipment to grease these boots and joints with the needle. That the ones that do have the grease nipple. But getting back to this, so this is the dry shaft. There's a center bearing over here called a dry shaft center support. This rubber also bursts, and when it bursts, you get a vibration. The dry shaft is a two-piece dry shaft where it have a male and a female. This has to be greased. Now when you don't grease this joint and you engage the gear, you get a clock noise. This is responsible for that. So make sure you lubricate this, guys. There's a back joint, and then there's the rear diff oil. The rear diff oil is a LSC limited slip, which uses GL5 oil. Toyota recommends that you use the Castrol GL5 limited slip. Right? That is what we use on the Hilux diff, but that Toyota, I'm almost sure this is what Toyota uses also. So we're going to drain this fluid in the diff, change that fluid. We're going to drain that fluid in the transfer case, replace with new ones. We're going to replace the transmission fluid. After we replace the transmission fluid, we're going to use the transmission flush machine, and we're going to do a cycle and pump out all that transmission fluid, put in new transmission fluid on that. This is the engine oil being drained here right now. So all the fluids drain out one by one. Right? Sorry, this is the front diff oil. After we're going to come here to the engine and drain out the engine oil. So this is the front diff, guys. Right, a little dark underneath here. So this is the front diff. This is the diff support rubber. Right, on these oil nut, it does have a washer seal. Right, just cause it to leak. It's a little washer like for $5-10. Right, make sure that it's a compression washer. Make sure you change that, because that simple thing just cause a little oil leak on the on all them units that carry in fluids. Right, all have one. So we're gonna do a complete service on this oil filter, air filter. Well, the customer recently changed that in this unit, but everything is brand new. Coming back, this is the transmission filter. This is located inside the transmission. We're going to remove the oil pan. I'll show you a video of that later on. This is the new gasket for the oil pan. Always remember, do not use silicone on a transmission oil pan. It's not recommended. They have the proper sealer. Using silicone tends to compress and pieces go inside and go and stick up on the valve body. So silicone is not recommended for those transmission pan gasket. I know a lot of guys out there they use silicone because it's easy and it's the wrong thing to use for transmission. Right, take note. This is the transmission fluid. We'll be using genuine Toyota fluid. This is the fuel injection for diesel made by BG. Now this one is different from the gas. One goes into the tank, one goes into the machine, and it pulls out the injectors and give you a thorough clean. We're using genuine Toyota coolant, 50-50. Do not add water. Drain out the complete system. Make sure you replace your thermostat. Start the vehicle, let it reach the temperature, let the bubbles come out, and add more coolant. If you don't do that, you're going to get air bubbles. The temperature is going to go up. Okay, this is parts cleaner, non-chlorinated, to service of the brakes. And this is fuel filter. And this is a product by Liqui Moly. Really good. You just get a lot of people servicing the throttle body in the gasoline vehicles. It's a nice spray for diesel that cleans the throttle body in these diesel vehicles, right? So this is what we use to clean out the throttle body. So we're going to get our throttle body clean, and we're going to do a injector clean. We're also going to do a carbon clean. Yeah, carbon clean. This is the carbon clean machine. It's not hooked up yet, but we're going to do carbon cleaning. Carbon cleaning is, we had some previous videos where show you how to use it. We're using hydrogen to clean out all the carbon build up inside. So stay tuned with I'll continue this repair and show you as we go along how this 100,000 going on the Hilux, right? But it's a complete overhaul from front to back. Everything being replaced on this Hilux. Right, so we on the Hilux here again, doing some fluid changes on the differential. So we already replaced the diff oil on this one, right? Remove the red differential oil, replace it with the LSD, and on the gearbox and the transfer case and the diff, it's easier sometimes to have an equipment or the correct tool to send in the oil or fill in the oil, right? So we use this tool here. It works with air. That is just sending the oil with a hose. So I could show you how we replace the diff oil, gear oil, and all these transfer case oils and stuff into the diff. So you'll open the valve, and you can watch close. You'll see the oil going down. Guys, there, easy as that. Proper tools, equipments, and your oil filling. Okay. Now you're doing that on the front diff and on the transfer case and the places that is a little bit difficult to have these oil fill. So if you want and you want to change transmission fluid, gear oil, front diff, rear diff fluids, give us a call at Jerry Service Center, 6710713 or 730-9449. While we're at it here, we're doing a tappet cover gasket or a rocker cover gasket on a Hilux. This is a 1KD, and we have some oil leaks and fuel leaks. We already solved the fuel leaks. Is the injector lines, these lines here on the side, they tend to leak and drop some fuel. Vibration has caused that. Make sure you have these rubber padding here to help absorb vibration. There's a little bracket. People just leave it out sometimes, but it serves an important purpose. And this is the cover here. We're going to change around here. The intercooler is going to come off. We're going to change the gasket, put on a new gasket, use the correct sealer, and reinstall. I'll show you guys how we change that gasket. So give us a call. Oil leaks, oil change, Jerry Service Center, 6710713. Or Facebook, Jerry Service Center Limited.